So we calculated the total cost to run this combined heat and pump system, right? We calculated the natural gas cost and the operating and maintenance costs, okay, at 1 cent per kilowatt hour, and that is the total natural gas cost for doing what? For generating the electricity that he wants, and also for doing the heating that he wants. So now the question is this is a good deal or not? Is it okay to pay this much every year? Well, what are we comparing with? What we are comparing with, if we don't buy this combined heat and pump system and generate our power and natural gas from it, is that we will just buy the electricity from the grid. Whatever the turbine is generating, we'll end up buying it from the grid, and we will not have any saving in the natural gas, right? So how do we do this? Well, that is the cost from the current cost of buying it directly from the grid, electricity from the grid, natural gas from the grid, okay, minus the operating cost of the combined heat and pump and power system, okay. So the difference between them is the saving. That's how much you would save if you, rather than buying from the grid power and natural gas for heating, you will end up basically just paying this much. So that's 300,000 per year. Now, is that a good saving or not? So that depends on what is the price of that system, right? So over here he basically say, well, in order to make the power plant to generate this much power, you need 2.5 megawatt turbine, and he has a table show that what is a good cost or a reasonable cost for 2.5 megawatt, and it ended up being 3 million. So you will install $3 million CHP system, and every year it will save you 300,000. So you will take roughly 10 years to make up, to break even, right? It will take 10 years to bring back your investment. And then after 10 years, if that system survive for 20 years, then for the next 10 years you will just be making profit of 306 every single year, okay. So there is other consideration that people would be willing to do something like this. For example, if the company has a green policy, or if there is enough carbon dioxide credit in that particular country, right? The government will reward you if you reduce your CO2 that you are releasing by having more efficient system, huh? So any green credit or tax credit that can be added, that could end up sweetening the deal for you and make your saving even more than just 300,000 per year, right? So in the next example he did the same calculation again, but he said now we used ETA recovery of 34%, right? The recovery boiler that will take some of the heat that was going to exhaust and then end up turning it to heat for us, we assume that 34%. He said, what if it's 50%, which is kind of on the upper side of things? He said that's the maximum that one would expect. If it's 50%, how that 9.8 will change? So he do that. You can see the whole calculation one more time. Everything is the same. And once he calculate the saving and the turbine cost over the CHP saving, it turned out to be 7.4. So rather than 10 years, he will get his money back in 7.4, and any time after that would be efficiency being saved, right?